to show you how to set up a new supplier. You go to suppliers, add a supplier. Here you type in your supplier's name. So let us say Playland Gardening Services. And I like to use the full name, then I know that the legal requirements are in place if they are VAT registered, that there's no comebacks and silly things. If you have different types of suppliers, you can use the different categories. So this is only necessary if you have a lot of suppliers. Something that's useful for supermarkets often is to have because they have lots and lots and lots and lots of suppliers, is to have a separate category for all your utilities. If you don't have a lot of suppliers, it's probably superfluous for you to use categories. You won't use an opening balance. If you do have opening balances for your suppliers, please let us know that we can bring in the opening balances for you. You'll type in the VAT reference number for the suppliers if they are VAT registered. Do yourself a favor and put it in here, that you don't need to struggle afterwards and put it in on every invoice. It just saves a lot of time and things, and you don't need to worry about the compliance issue of a VAT invoice. I'm just going to use this VAT invoice since the VAT numbers are all made up. You can use the auto-allocate payments to oldest invoice option. If you don't have a lot of invoices for specific suppliers, or you don't need to keep track of which invoices have been paid and which ones are still outstanding, then you can use this option to auto-allocate it. If, however, for whatever reason, you need to keep track of which invoices are paid, which ones are still outstanding, don't tick this one and rather do the allocations manually. Here you are going to put in the postal address for the supplier. Again, rather put the information in and not need it. And then we're going to make that like also in Toyland. The contact name will usually be the person that you will send the invoice or the account to. I would rather, if it's the person that you want to order from, I would rather add them as an additional contact, but I will show that to you just now. So let's say this is, Winnie the Pooh is the person that we are, is the person there, and just that, and you put in the contact details that if you need to find them, that you can do that easily. You can add here the information that you are going to use. Remember, any information that you put in, you also want to maintain, and the more information you have, the more work it is to maintain. So if you're not going to use the information, rather leave it out. If you see that you need it constantly, you can rather add that. That's my personal preference. Other people might differ. The physical address you're only going to put in if it's applicable, if it's something that you're going to use or need from time to time. The discount is if they have a fixed discount percentage that this supplier always gives you, that's the percentage that you will put in there. It's not something that happens that often nowadays anymore, except for the bigger, organizations like supermarkets and manufacturers. They sometimes still, because they have a lot of accounts and stuff that they buy, but the normal businesses, the smaller businesses, you very seldom have the fixed discount percentages. Default tax type, if they are not VAT registered, they will not have any VAT. Then you're going to choose exempt and non-suppliers. If they are VAT registered, you're going to choose the applicable one. The normal one will be the standard rate. If the terms, if they want you to pay at the end, the day of the current month, let's say they want you to pay on the last day of the current month, you just put that in there. Activity won't be available at this stage. Additional contacts. This is where you can put in any other people that work with this specific supplier. So you can add maybe the person that you place the orders with, things like that. Their banking details you can put in here. Any notes that you might have, you can put an action date on that. And then next to the supplier, you will see there's a little calendar thingy that will tell you there's an action that requires attention at a specific date. User-defined fields. If you need to set up user-defined fields, please contact us that we can help you to do that setup. Personal information, purchases, all of these options will only be available once, except for report layouts. You can use different layouts. Again, if you need to use that, let me know, then we can help you to do that setup. And that is how you set up a new supplier.